Hello everyone. Thank you to everyone responding and giving feedback to my controller guides. I was truly surprised with the amount of comments I got the last couple days. I had a couple of good questions from you guys and I will try to clarify some of it here in part 3 of the PS5 controller video. So firstly, I wanted to talk about concentration. That's something I actually didn't touch much upon. So your character can concentrate on a spell in combat or also out in the world. Spells that require concentration are marked with concentration below in the action wheel or in the spellbook. Sometimes if you want to end concentration yourself earlier, you can do this by opening the action wheel by R1 or L1 and holding in triangle. This will end concentration on a spell. As an example for why you want to do this is that in case your concentration spell is a damaging area of effect, or this fireball, for example. The other day I actually turned a neutral NPC hostile because the fireball rolled past after combat, and yeah, so I had to redo that. So it's sometimes useful to be able to end concentration spells beforehand. I had some comments asking me about the combat log as well. This is mainly if you could have it like it were with mouse and keyboard shown on the side at all times. I'll hide my controller here for a moment to show this. So while in combat you have a text log on the right hand side of the screen, but this does not stay very long, unfortunately. The only settings I found were to turn the display recent activity on or off. So for us using controllers we would have to open the combat log. To do this you'll pull the R2 trigger and move to combat log with the left stick and then press X. Here you can get more details on the dice rolls behind everything and such, and you can push the R3 stick to show this. The combat log is still as detailed as it were with mouse and keyboard, but it's the only difference is that we cannot have it on the right hand side while playing, which is kind of a shame, but maybe they will add it later, who knows. Something I hadn't touched upon at all, because I forgot it really, was the reaction system. So reactions in Baldur's Gate 3 allow players to respond to certain events or triggers, even when it's not their own turn. You can set up how you want your reactions to be prompted. Let's move over to our wizard Gale here to demonstrate. So to check your reactions, all you have to do is pull the L2 trigger and press the L3 button. You can also go via the character sheet by pulling the R2 and selecting character sheet with the X button, and then move over with R1. So Gale has shield here, for example, which is like a magical bubble you can cast when you are about to be hit by an enemy, and it increases your armor by 5, so it absorbs a lot of the damage, and magic missile even entirely. So you can see here it costs a reaction resource, of which you have only 1 per round, and a level 1 or 2 spell slot. The upcast does not have any added bonus. Just in case you run out of level 1 spell slots, you can use the level 2 ones. You can set up here how you want the reaction to behave by pushing square. You can set it up to ask you. In this case it will prompt you before it happens. Or you can just set it to automatic like opportunity attacks over here. You can also disable these reactions by pressing X and turn them back on by pushing X again. You might wonder why you want to disable opportunity attack, for example. I mostly don't, but there are some rare cases where the enemy can reflect damage upon your character, like Armor of Agathis, for example. And if you are low in health, this could spell doom for your character. So it's there for those who are wondering about this. I'll quickly demonstrate here with Will to how you can actually turn opportunity attack into an advantage for Will here with Armor of Agathis. So I casted Armor of Agathis on Will earlier, and then I actually provoke an opportunity attack, so the enemy will hit me and doing the extra damage. On top of then the other action I still had left. So yeah, this I could just outright kill the last enemy here. So also what I haven't demonstrated yet was in Dialog you can actually see before you do an ability check. In this case here I wanted to do a medicine skill check because I'm a druid and I can do that, but sometimes, yeah, depending on your class you'll have different options, but sometimes it's good to see which ones will give you the better bonuses. I see here if I push R3 during dialogue, I can see that I have a bonus because of wisdom. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with this option in this case. Then something I also forgot to mention was how to move or throw an object. In case there are heavy objects blocking a certain item, for example, you can choose to move it by pressing square and select move, given your character is strong enough. So I'll try this here with my druid. He's not strong enough, so let's try it in bear form. So I'll shape into bear form, as I usually do. So I press square and select move and move the cursor with the left stick and press X to confirm the location. And for those wanting to live out their wrestling fantasies, you can also throw objects like boxes and chairs. And yeah, it works kind of in the same way, really. You press square first and then throw it. I realize I also forgot to mention this simple thing, but how to toggle your light source. There is actually a dedicated button for this for a controller, which is really neat. You do this by holding in the D-pad up button, and by pressing it again you can get back to your weapon. I also thought it would be not a bad idea to show you some inventory management and some tips on how to use it. So to get in your inventory, you pull the R2 trigger and select character sheet. When first opening it, you can see the items of all the party members. There is the option to filter through it with the press of L3, for example to show only potions. As you can see, most of the potions are on my main character, but if another party member wanted to use it, I don't have to worry about sending it over first. They can just directly use it from my inventory. I can drink this potion, for example, here with Gale. Same with equipping gear. I just have to move over with the D-pad or the left stick and select an equipment slot. If I want to, for example, equip a weapon here, I can press the X button and it gives me all the weapons currently in our inventory over all my party members. The ones currently marked E are already equipped weapons. Lastly, there has been some comments asking me about mouse and keyboard support on the PlayStation 5. And the straight answer is, I don't know. Some games on the PS5 allow for mouse and keyboard if the developers support it in their games. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, for Divinity Original Sin 2 there was no mouse and keyboard support by Larian on the PlayStation, something due to technical issues adding the keyboard UI. I wonder if this will be the case for Baldur's Gate 3. I guess we will find out really soon. To close this quick little video, I want to thank all my new subscribers and welcome you all to the channel. We are approaching the 3 digits as of writing this, so once again, thank you all. I see you all in the next video. Bye.